ලෙස්ම දැනෙන 25 වසරක් පුරා අපත් සමග සිටි පැන්-ඒෂියා බැංකුව සැබවින්ම ශ්‍රී ලාංකේයයි.
Good evening, and welcome to the Daily News Roundup with Daily Mirror Online. You're with me, Nicholas Manuel. Let's take a look at our headlines.
A riot breaks out at the Mahara prison. State Minister casts doubt over invisible hand in Mahara prison riot. Minister Weerasekara and TNA Sumanthiran clash over LTTE commemorations. National Action Plan for the UNP revival to be declared in January next year. Colombo mayor warns that the situation in Colombo is dangerous. The Finance Ministry has been alerted over the quality of vinegar produced in Sri Lanka. The CEJ files a writ application in the Court of Appeal. The Colombo High Court acquits Basil Rajapaksa from the Divineguma case. The GMOA urges health authorities to take maximum effort to control emerging sub-COVID clusters. 558 more COVID-19 patients recover.
Now, diving into these stories in detail.
A total of 8 inmates were reportedly killed and nearly 50 other inmates were hospitalized during unrest which took place at the Mahara prison yesterday. The prisons department informed that the unrest turned into a riot. The 2 injured prison officers who were held hostage by inmates were also released. Prison officials had to use force to control the situation, and police and STF teams were brought in. Prison Reforms and Prisoners Rehabilitation State Minister Sudarshini Fernandopillai informed Parliament today that an independent investigation would be carried out into the Mahara prison riot to identify the invisible hand in orchestrating mayhem. The State Minister, who was responding to a question raised by the opposition MPs, said the government was ready to conduct an independent investigation into the riot. Minister Sarath Weerasekara and TNA MP M.A. Sumanthiran were engaged in a heated argument in Parliament on Saturday where Mr. Weerasekara alleged that the latter had commemorated an LTTE leader. The argument flared up when Mr. Sumanthiran raised a privilege issue against the Presidential Commission on Political Victimization, whom he said had falsely accused him of evading the commission. Mr. Weerasekara, when responding, questioned as to how the MP could talk about parliamentary privileges when his presence in the House is questionable. A national action plan to revive the United National Party, which faced a humiliating defeat at the last presidential and parliamentary elections, will be declared in January next year, according to the party's deputy leader, Ruwan Wijewardena, who informed the district-based party activists. He has told them that they would be able to convey their views and proposals for the National Action Plan during the meetings that would be held with them next month. Colombo Mayor Rosie Senanayake has warned that the situation in Colombo is serious with the COVID-19 death toll increasing and more people being infected. The recent coronavirus deaths and infections have mostly been from the Colombo district. Mrs. Senanayake has appealed to retired public health inspectors to return to service and has also spoken to the medical faculty to obtain the services of interns to support the Colombo Municipal Council. She informed that the government, together with the CMC, is taking every effort to try and control the situation in Colombo. The use of poisonous chemicals to produce artificial toddy, which is the key ingredient of manufacturing vinegar in Sri Lanka, has been brought to the knowledge of the State Minister of Finance, who admitted a tax leakage of 40 billion rupees per annum as a result. The issue was transpired when State Ministry of Money, Ajit Nivard Cabral, was responding to a series of queries raised by opposition parliamentarian Buddhika Pathirana in the House last week over the use of artificial or chemically brewed toddy to manufacture vinegar. The Center for Environmental Justice filed a writ application in the Court of Appeal against the revoking of Circular Number 05/2001 and Circular Number 01/2006. The circulars were revoked by way of Circular MWFC/1/2020, dated April 11, 2020, titled Managing Other State Forests by the Secretary to the Ministry of Wildlife and Forest Conservation with immediate effect. The petitioners claim that the Secretary has no such authority under the Forest Conservation Ordinance or any other written law to issue such a circular. Therefore, the petitioners seek the writ of mandamus and certiorari against the respondents under Article 140 of the Constitution. The Colombo High Court today acquitted former Minister Basil Rajapaksa and 3 others from the Divineguma case. The Attorney General indicted Basil Rajapaksa and the others on charges of misappropriating rupees 33 million in funds belonging to the Divineguma department during the presidential election campaign in 2015. The Government Medical Officers Association stated that the health authorities and the epidemiology unit should take maximum effort to control the emergence of new sub-COVID-19 clusters in the country. Addressing the media, GMOA editor Dr. Harita Alutke said the emergence of subclusters can be seen in various places in the country, such as in the prisons department, government and private hospitals, factories, free trade zones, police, and various other institutions. The Health Ministry announced that a total of 558 more COVID-19 patients have recovered and have been discharged from hospitals, bringing the total number of recoveries in Sri Lanka to 17,560.
For further details on these stories, visit our website, www.dailymirror.lk. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Nicholas Manuel, and this was the Daily News Roundup.